How much have you had to drink tonight?
I'm good.
Okay, how much have you had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, the reason why I'm asking, do you realize you're back and forth in your lane? Like you keep driving out of your lane and there's cars next to you? And I mean,
First at 5, new video just released by the San Antonio Police Department. This is body cam video showing the arrest of District 8 City Councilwoman Evelise Mesa Gonzalez on suspicion of DWI. Gonzalez can be seen in that video swerving between lanes. She apologized to the officer, but then denies that she's been drinking and failed a field sobriety test. In a statement today, she addressed the video by saying, quote, "I regret not being more forthcoming with the officer. I was overwhelmed, nervous, embarrassed, and to be frank, afraid," end quote. The councilwoman was booked on a misdemeanor charge of DWI before she was released on bond on July 25th.
New tonight, Kerr County officials for the first time officially sharing the names of people who died in the Hill Country floods. The county identifying 117 people who died, ranging from ages as young as 1-year-old to a 91-year-old. Of the people who died, 39 of those victims are children. The county says 2 additional people, an adult and a child, still missing, and the county's search efforts are not over. New at 5, after 3 years of legal battles, the Uvalde School District and the county are set to release records from the Robb Elementary school shooting next week.
And families of the victims have been notified about that. The records include 911 calls, videos, and reports. This move follows a court ruling requiring transparency surrounding the tragic 2022 shooting that killed 19 children and 2 teachers. An attorney for the county told KSAT those records could be released as early as Monday. San Antonio Water System says your water bill could be going up in 2026. SAWS is considering a rate increase. The utility says the extra money is needed to pay for upgrades like fixing wastewater centers and improving pipes that bring water to homes and businesses. The last time SAWS had a rate increase was 2020. Since then, SAWS says it has invested $2.2 billion in improvements. It has not yet decided how much rates could go up.
The man accused of beating, strangling, and killing his neighbor has been found guilty. Malik Pryor now awaits sentencing for the murder of Jared Papin. Investigators say the 2 men were neighbors in the same apartment complex, had a history of heated arguments. On the stand earlier today, Papin's partner, Michael Semick, told the jury about how the losses impacted their 2 adopted children.
He was basically the mother to our children, took on that maternal type role, and provided that, and it was very important to us.
Pryor now awaits sentencing. He faces between 5 and 99 years in prison.
A woman says she found a sexually explicit video of someone else on her boyfriend's phone, and now she is charged with stabbing that boyfriend. This happened this morning near Northwest 36th Street and Bandera Road. The 39-year-old man was rushed to a hospital with injuries to his chest and his arm. Police say that the woman could face a charge of aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. We want to remind you that if you or someone you know is dealing with domestic violence, help is available. KSAT.com has a domestic violence resource page with links and information.
Check out TransGuide right now. Let's go to Loop 410 and Blanco Road on this Friday, and you can see very heavy traffic. These are the westbound lanes of 410 moving away from Wonderland of America's Mall, and you can also see Rolling Oaks in the back. You can see North Star in the background. Heavy traffic on this Friday, Adam Caskey.
Yeah, and it's hot too. Guess what? We did it today. 100. And we hit 100, so that's our 10th triple-digit day so far this year. And we don't have the same haze that we had yesterday, because yesterday we had a more noticeable Canadian wildfire smoke in the air. Not as much today. 97 is the average high temperature. The record 105. That was set back in 2023. We're going to be near 100 daily going forward, plus or minus a degree or 2. Typically this time of year, we don't see a big fluctuation in afternoon highs, and this is going to be no exception. Rain, slight chances Sunday through Wednesday. And we're starting to see a trend in some of the models in other parts of Texas that could help influence our rain chances. We'll get into that in a bit. And the tropics should start to become active, watching one wave coming off of Africa. We'll dive into that and talk about possibilities in just a bit.
All right. Thank you, Adam. The Texas Biomedical Research Institute on the city's far west side helping develop one of the COVID-19 vaccines that saved millions of lives.
Earlier this week, Robert F. Kennedy, the Secretary of U.S. Health and Human Services, pulled $500 million in funding for vaccine research, specifically for vaccines that use that mRNA technology. Sarah Acosta spoke with the president of Texas Biomed about what this could mean for the future of vaccines.
The news that we're going to block a Nobel Prize-winning technology, mRNA technology for the purposes of vaccine, is quite disheartening to the entire biomedical and healthcare community.
Dr. Larry Schlesinger, the president and CEO of the Texas Biomedical Research Institute on San Antonio's west side, says cutting millions of dollars in funding research to vaccines, specifically mRNA technology that was used to develop the COVID-19 vaccine, will be a setback for life-saving research. He says we need to continue to move forward in vaccine development. Supporting it through federal funding is critical.
I'm interested in saving human lives, and an investment in all kinds of vaccine technology is an investment in public health.
Texas Biomed was instrumental in helping Pfizer develop the COVID-19 vaccine that used mRNA technology.
You know, one of the greatest victories of the current administration's past administration was Operation Warp Speed, where in 11 months, the mRNA vaccines were rolled out and put in the arms of people. The facts are there that this vaccine saved millions of lives in the U.S. and globally.
He says Texas Biomed won't be currently impacted by the $500 million cut, but Schlesinger says research on vaccines and human health will take a hit.
My bigger concern is with the next pandemic, and we have so much vaccine hesitancy and misinformation, that even less people will want to be protected.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary for HHS, says the reason for the cut is that the mRNA COVID-19 vaccine poses more risks than benefits. Schlesinger says that isn't true, and that rigorous scientific evidence backs that up. He says social media has played a big part in vaccine misinformation. He encourages the public to continue to listen to the scientists when it comes to life-saving research.
It's so important for people like me, a physician scientist, to keep telling the public that these are good elements to help us stay safe, and certainly our children to stay safe.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
New at 5, Harlandale ISD just took a big step forward. The Texas Education Agency moving the district from direct oversight to observation status. That's a sign that things are improving. The district has cleaned up its board and finances, and the superintendent credits hard work from the entire community in this move. The TEA will keep watching for now, but full local control could return as soon as next month. Now to the redistricting fight here in the Lone Star State. Today, a win for Texas Democrats. They successfully blocked a key vote in the state legislature on a Republican proposal to redraw the state congressional maps in their favor.
Republican lawmakers were in Austin today to vote, but Democratic senators were not. They fled the state, refusing to show up for that vote. It is rare for redistricting to happen mid-decade, but it's happening now, largely at the request of President Trump ahead of the 2026 midterm elections.
You calling in for a complete redrawing of the congressional map?
No, it's just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
Texas Republicans want to see their Democratic colleagues arrested for their absence, and Governor Greg Abbott ramping up the consequences, saying on a recent podcast, if lawmakers don't come back, Republicans will redistrict even more. This week on Pickup Lines, our Ernie Zuniga is going one-on-one with Bexar County Juvenile District Court Judge William Cruz Shaw. Since 2022, he has presided over the 436th District Court. He was born and raised in Houston by a single mom and admits to being a troublemaker as a kid, but later went on to college and played baseball at Texas Southern. Judge Shaw served in the Navy, became an attorney, and then was serving on the San Antonio City Council when he got the call to become a judge.
She's like, are you serious about being an associate judge? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, I need an associate judge. And I said, well, give me 2 weeks to figure this thing out. She goes, no, you have 3 days.
Oh, jeez.
You have 3 days. I said, all right. In my mind, I already made my mind. Like, I'm gone.
You knew?
Yeah, I'm gone. So I called at that time, it was Cheryl Scully, was city manager.
Yeah.
I called Cheryl, and then I called Ron.
Mayor Ron Nuremberg.
Yeah, and then, Mayor Ron.
No. I mean, I'm just...
And so I called Ron, and like, this is what the game plan is. And like, you gotta be kidding me. And Cheryl was supportive. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I got a real opportunity to really do some good in our neighborhoods, our communities. So swung for the fence and ended up doing it.
In this episode, Judge Shaw also reflects on his decision-making behind the bench and why he typically doesn't wear that usual judge's robe. The latest episode of Pickup Lines premieres at 5:30 and replays at 7:30 this evening on the free KSAT Plus app, or you can watch it right now on KSAT.com. Just search Pickup Lines. James Avery's Texas charm sold out fast, but the real impact? Millions of dollars raised for flood relief. Coming up, how thousands of customers came together to help rebuild a community.
She sent me a picture. I said, man, it really does look bad. And I said, could you run down there and get me a picture of my post office? She texted me back. She said, Gaylyn, that is your post office. And all it was just an empty concrete slab.
That is all that's left of the post office in Hunt after the July 4th floods. Its famous neighbor, the Hunt store, has gotten a lot of attention for the damage it suffered. But the woman who's been the Hunt postmaster for 30 years tells me the post office needs its story told too. And she explains why. It's today on the news at 6.
Small town post office. Members of the Texas Senate Committee on Disaster Preparedness and Flooding met this morning and discussed Senate bills, including 2 Senate bills directly related to the deadly Hill Country flooding.
So Senate Bill 1 focuses on flood preparedness and response, and Senate Bill 2 looks at outdoor warning sirens in flood-prone areas. While nothing was voted on today, the theme around these bills is that they could save lives and prevent future tragedies.
Senate Bill 2 would make a real difference to protect lives and property. This bill would also give our local emergency coordinators and elected officials another tool in their toolbox for public notification.
Some of the key takeaways from the bills include the improvement of safety measures and emergency management protocols, an adoption of an outdoor warning siren system, enhancing natural disaster training. It also looked at requiring campgrounds located in a floodplain to provide emergency access in cabins, adopting a flash flood evacuation plan, and establishing emergency management succession lines for officials if they are unavailable. That seemed to be one of the places where Kerr County fell short. A heartwarming update today. Right after the Hill Country flood, we told you about a Kerrville-based jewelry company, James Avery, and their goal to help their own community.
So the store announced that it would donate 100% of the proceeds from the sales of its Deep in the Heart of Texas charm. And then James Avery sold out immediately. Back orders have now been fulfilled. And today the company told us 100,000 customers bought those charms, which amounted to $7 million for flood recovery efforts. They are working with organizations like Samaritan's Purse and Mercy Chefs to help with 4 specific categories in the aftermath: emergency response and relief, food, shelter and mental health services, schools, child care and elder care, and community programs and economic rebuilding. Okay, if you're a fan of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, get excited. The original stunt bike from the 1985 film is going on display at the Alamo.
It's iconic. Starting tomorrow, you can see the bike that Pee-wee actually rode in the film's famous Alamo scene on display for a limited time. Our Ernie Zuniga was there and got a sneak peek.
I think that we're all, very excited. It's been well received, and I think a couple of us were a little skeptical about bringing it on, myself included, but I think we made the right decision. It's going to bring a lot of really interesting people to the Alamo.
Ernie needed a bow tie. You notice that? Yeah, Pee-wee, meet Easy. Today, friends of the Alamo members can get a sneak peek at 6 p.m. Remember, this is a rare chance to get up close before the bike finds a permanent home in the new Alamo Visitor Center opening in 2027.
Not the basement of the Alamo.
No.
There's no basement, silly.
At the Alamo.
At the Alamo. Honestly, I'm wearing the suit if I had a red bow tie.
Oh, you are wearing this
Right?
suit.
Yeah.
Do your Pee-wee laugh.
That's maybe what you heard in the background.
That's what made me laugh.
Yeah. That's all I can do from Pee-wee. Jerry, what's the word of the day? That's from the Playhouse, though. That's different.
Yeah.
There was no bike, no Alamo in that situation.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Flashbacks years ago. All right, let's get to the weekend. Hey, guess what? It's going to be hot. A lot of sunshine, but we do sprinkle in a few rain opportunities, especially closer to the coastline on Sunday. 1 or 2 could make their way a little bit closer to, say, Wilson County, Gonzales County, and some of those areas between I-10 and I-37. Monday, Tuesday, a 20% chance, and still an off chance as we get into Wednesday. We're watching the same features. More than anything, this little disturbance near the panhandle of Florida that's heading westward, and also it's going to team up with another upper disturbance that's not pronounced on this map here. That's basically in the central part of the U.S., and they're going to head our way, but also combine with a trough that's going to dig in from the northern U.S. and dig into Texas. Not necessarily dig into our neck of the woods, but it's going to absorb this weak disturbance that's coming across the Gulf. And if trends hold true and consistent and, persistent as well, then we'd maybe increase rain chances for Monday night into Tuesday morning. Nothing significant, but we could actually have slightly better odds at that point if that upper disturbance can push a little southward and that upper trough dig farther south into Texas. But still, look at the overall potential. The highest potential off to the north of us, San Angelo, and basically north of I-10. Around here, Minor accumulations here and there, just some isolated showers possible in that time frame still. That's Sunday all the way through Wednesday. So climatologically speaking, sometimes it's hard to get those. Climatologically speaking, in San Antonio, actually everywhere in the Atlantic Basin, September 10th is the peak of the hurricane season. So typically, right here, you start to see activity ramping up. And although there isn't anything out there right now, there's the potential for a little bit of development down to 40% here from this little swirl, this tropical wave that's headed westward. That was 60% yesterday. It's been dropped a little bit. What we're especially watching is what's coming off the western coast of Africa here. This little area of disturbed weather, that's going to be moving westward. It's got a lot of time over a very vast, expansive, and warm Atlantic Ocean as it heads westward. And that could be our next potential tropical development. And notice this is by this time next week. Remember, a lot of time. But I want to caution you of the internet and social media and what you're going to see from this, okay? I'm going to dive deeper into that at 6 o'clock, but anything including nothing is possible with that system. I'll show you more about what I'm talking about at 6. 100 right now, dew point is 61. Feels like 100. Shirts 99, Eagle Pass 100, Santa Maria as well. 102 Lavernia, Seguin 99, Bernie 95. Typical August afternoon and evening ahead of us. And 91 at 9 o'clock. And then tomorrow morning we're at 76 at sunrise, 90 at noon. 99 the high, a lot of sunshine right near 100 again tomorrow, pretty much everywhere across the board. Then we trim off just a couple of degrees as we get into next week. And don't get me started on that internet when it comes to weather and what you're going to be seeing, and just be cautious. I'm going to talk about it.
That World Wide Web.
That internet.
You've got to watch out for it.
Get off my lawn, too.
Don't get me started on the internet.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, so we're going to talk, Larry, about a Cowboy quarterback not named Dak Prescott.
Yes, Joe Milton III, the Cowboys picked him up in a trade not too long ago with the Patriots. He's going to see a lot of playing time tomorrow. In the meantime, he says he's learning a lot from Dak Prescott. And C.J. Stroud was asked about his self-criticism. Where does that come from? He'll tell you coming up.
how far have you ever thrown? How far?
Have I ever thrown the ball? It was probably like 90.
90 yards in there?
Yeah.
In a game, 70?
That was practice at Tennessee.
Over 90 yards?
Yeah, pretty much the whole field there.
That's a bazooka.
Nah, a rocket.
Yeah, Cowboys quarterback Joe Milton III can really sling the ball in big board sports.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Thomas J. Henry.
The Dallas Cowboys finally have a backup quarterback that's more like Dak Prescott and Joe Milton III. Back in April, the boys traded with the Patriots to get Joe. He's a dual threat guy who's often described as having one of the strongest arms in the NFL. And he started off this sportscast by saying he threw the ball 90 yards in the air while at the University of Tennessee. Milton could be the future, but for now, he's learning from QB1, Dak Prescott.
It's been great, and what that learning has been like, man, it's just any question I have, and I say this for all my young guys coming to the league or in the league now, no question is a dumb question, especially about football. So that's how he treated, that's how I treat it, and I ask whatever question it is.
Are you grateful that he's so receptive? Because obviously we've noticed stories throughout this league in the past where the veteran QB is not always the most receptive.
Absolutely. For me to be 25, yes, absolutely I am. Just because of the person that who he is as a person, how he carry himself, how much he's go out his way to help me. Yes, absolutely.
C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans are on their way to Minnesota to kick off their preseason tomorrow at the Vikings. Stroud said he would like to take some preseason game snaps tomorrow, but it's up to the coaches if he plays or not. Entering his third season, Stroud is one of the top young QBs in the league, and he's known for being very hard on himself. So he was asked, where does that self-criticism come from?
Probably being like a little brother. Always like wanting to fit in with my siblings and like them most of the time not wanting to. So like being hard on myself, like what did I do wrong? Like for them not to let me play the game. So probably stems from that. But my siblings love me. I love them. But yeah, so it's a little bit of that. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. At times it can be, but I think I try to balance it.
Oh, those older siblings.
Those siblings.
Make you mentally tough.
Yes.
Says the older sister.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
Alrighty, this weekend upper 90s, a lot of sunshine, and then again a few coastal showers tomorrow, more so as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday. You know, we could see some inland showers even in and around San Antonio and the Hill Country, and there's a potential we could raise odds for Monday night into Tuesday. Check back in for the latest.
All right, thanks, Adam. Thanks for watching the news at 5.
Stay back here at 6. World News is next.